Good morning, Sault Ste. Marie and Algoma. Welcome to Special Report for Thursday, July the 30th. One more day in July and then we're going to be into August.
Woo woo! I can't believe how quick it is.
I'm Chris Oldcorn and I'm here with
Dani Dupuis, and thank you to KC Security for sponsoring the show. We were talking to Nathan this morning. He's on his night patrol, and you know what? Everyone's doing pretty good. He seemed like he had a good night, so that's good to know, Nathan, so thank you very much. But we do have lots going on. So Chris, what do we have today?
Yep, Doug Ford's coming up at 1, but today is going to be a big announcement because we're going to be talking about the education year. What is it going to look like?
What are we going to do?
School's coming back in September, right after Labor Day. They gave us 3 different options of what it was going to look like. We'll see if one of those 3 is the options, or are they going to go fully back in. We'll have to wait until 1 o'clock to see.
And the options right now are there's a hybrid model of having half in class, half out. You know, we go right back down to 15 students in a classroom, and then as well, full capacity. So it's going to be really curious to see what they're going to talk about. I mean,
and the other option is if there's another outbreak, they'll start doing the whole homeschooling thing again, online and stuff. So this afternoon at the announcement, Christine Elliott's going to be there. She's the Deputy Premier, and she's also the Minister of Health. Steve Lecce, our Education Minister, is going to be there, and the Associate Chief Medical Officer of Ontario, Dr. Barbara Yaffe, will be there. And that's at 1, so we'll have that for you. But the announcement's actually coming out in Whitby.
Yeah, so it's really
I guess this is part of Ford's summer tour. So I'm guessing he's probably going to do this announcement maybe at a school or in front of the school board building or something like that. So we'll have that for you at 1 o'clock.
And with
lots going on with schools.
Lots going on. So last night yesterday there was actually a protest outside of one of the public school boards here in Sault Ste. Marie. It was a protest of education workers and parents. They've all joined together, and actually it was a nation or provincial-wide protest yesterday. There were people in Queen's Park also doing the same thing, and it's teachers, educators, parents being like, hey, what's going on? What's the plan? You know, we know that the announcement is happening today, but there's also some teachers and some parents who are like, this announcement is coming out too late. It should have been happening sooner. So like we said yesterday, there was that protest, and one thing that they're protesting as well is to increase custodians, which is very interesting. But of course, come on, they need extra people to clean, so they're going to have to be hiring a little bit more. But as today's announcement unveils, we'll see what's going on with our education system.
Yes, and speaking of that, yesterday, the pediatric hospitals here in Ontario released a study about what they think should happen in the educational system. So this is probably part of the reason why they have waited this long to actually come out with what they are going to do this fall as far as the government is concerned when kids go back to school, because the study, they were trying to figure out what should they do with different age groups and so on. So
it's really interesting.
Kind of the gist of it here. I dealt with this on my show like last week, where I talked about kids not spreading germs as far because they're shorter, so they don't spit as far as an adult does, or talk moistly as Trudeau would say. Okay, so this is what is being recommended. Now, there isn't 100% consensus on this. However, when you're dealing with kids at the elementary school level, so we're talking all the way up to grade 6, 2/3 of the health experts consulted by SickKids said that you don't need to use masks at all with kids in that age. Obviously, then 1/3 think that there should be masks used at least part of the time. However, when you get to the high school level, 80% of the experts said that the kids should be wearing masks. I dealt with this before, but this is basically because at high school, you're pretty much your adult height. So you're able to spit the germs 6 feet, whereas a kid in kindergarten is only spitting the germs 3 feet.
Well, and also you have to think, I feel like high school students, they at least know a little bit more of responsibility.
Yes, that's
you know,
the
we
other
have our
thing.
mask on. Don't touch your face. Leave your mask on.
Don't take it off and put it down.
And as we were just talking before the show, you know, I was asking, why don't you think there's going to be masks in elementary school? And you simply said, well, kids are touching their face. They can't sit still.
And a kid will take it off, be like, I don't like this, and then chuck it on the ground, put it on their desk, and then what do? Then you've spread the germs to the desk. And the thing is, we know that COVID-19 lasts longer on hard surfaces. So if you have a mask on your face, it doesn't last as long on there. But if the kid takes it off, puts it on the desk, and if that desk isn't clean, COVID could live on that desk for 3 days. And who else is going to touch that desk?
Don't know
there's so many issues here with regards to kids and how they can properly use a mask, that most of the experts are saying it's better off to not have them use a mask. And they're even saying in the classroom for the younger kids, they don't need to be 2 meters apart at their desk. They can be 1 meter apart. So you can actually have them closer together.
Now, what
so
about
it
the
could be
teachers?
possible.
Will the teachers be wearing masks or face shields?
That was not covered in this study.
Oh,
but I
that's
would
really
assume
interesting.
that teachers would fall under the
category
same,
to do so?
same
Yeah.
category as any public workplace. So in their case, they're dealing with the public because it's kids. So I'm assuming that they would have to wear masks in that scenario. But the other thing too is SickKids treated, there were 2,200 young people that were treated in Ontario for COVID-19 that tested positive. SickKids did 700 of those kids. Only 15 went in the hospital, 1 went into the ICU, and none died out of those 700 that they treated.
Wow, that's really
So
great
that's part of the reason behind this is because the kids that they treated recovered. No one died, and only 1 out of 700 had to go into the ICU, and only 15 out of 700 had to even be hospitalized at all. So that's part of the reason behind the recommendations is that it seems that when kids get this, it's not as severe as if you're over the age of 60, for example. And even now, we've seen a spike in cases of people between 20 and 39. It's about 65% of the cases right now because people are going back to work. However, these people are getting it not as severely as others, and they're able to fight back against it. That's one of the reasons you're seeing a much lower death rate right now than we had in the past.
I mean, we're really thankful that that is going on, and the doctors are taking all the precautions they need. And unfortunately, this was just released about 7 hours ago. Sudbury has 10 new cases. 10. So 7 of the 10 new cases are individuals who are 20 years and under. A male and a female in their 40s have been tested positive, along with a woman in her 60s. Now, with a few of these individuals, they're not too sure where it's coming from. It was community spread, still unsure of their exposure. But they are saying, so this is 22 new cases of COVID in the last week and a half.
It's interesting. I wonder if those kids or young people, kids to me, I'm in my 40s, but the youngers, if they were all in the same area of each other.
That's what I'm curious. I mean,
like, was there a party that was less than 50 people or something that they were at, and that's how they caught it? So, I'd be interesting to find out. Obviously, there's privacy issues, but it'd be interesting to find out if there was a central spot where those people all caught it at the same time.
There was one that they indicated where the person was, so it's saying 8 individuals, like I said, have unknown exposure, and that's also saying that's 36% of new cases with unsure sources, but they were saying one case is the latest cluster as an employee of Pioneer Manor, according to the public health. This was propped an outbreak to be declared at the facility.
And I'm assuming that's a long-term care home?
Yes, it is. Yes, and well, like we talked about before, we know about Porcupine and what was going on there.
And actually, speaking of that, that was Doug Ford's announcement yesterday. Was the independent commission to look at long-term care and COVID-19. So that is going to, normally these commissions actually take several years. Doug Ford has said he wants it back by the 3rd week of April of next year. The people he's put on it, long-term, people who've dealt with both the legal side of the healthcare system, plus also the medical background. They're going to be able to call whoever they want. And an independent commission means that you can compel people to give testimony without incriminating themselves.
Okay.
So they can get to the bottom of it, figure out what did we do wrong, what can we do right in the future.
And
he wants this by next April so that when we hit like next year that they'll have some good recommendations for if this happens again with any other sort of illness that starts to go like spread like wildfire.
Well, it's trial by error right now. Let's be honest. No one anticipated any of this to happen.
I mean, originally we thought like 80% of people who had COVID had a fever. That's not true. It's only 30%. It's 80% of the hospitalized people with COVID have a fever, but as far as in general, only 30% do. However, we're still taking people's temperatures because at least it's a screening method that we know, okay, 30% of people with COVID who are walking around will have a fever of some kind. So, you know, we got all those sorts of things going on.
We do, and it's really, really good. And we also just kind of want to go back to what's going on with the school system. So a company based in Waterloo, the Canadian Shield, they are equipped in making PPE products. Well, recently what they've done is they have donated 750,000 face shields to educators, teachers in all of Ontario, and this is contributing, they approximately said the amount of this is $7.5 million that they've invested into this. It's really amazing to see people stepping up in the community and taking the initiative to move forward. What the Canadian Shield is also doing is they have
a new kid mask.
They have a new kid mask, so it's going to be for ages 5 to 12, a little bit smaller, so it actually fits their face. But real quick, we're going to be heading over to Dan for the weather. What you got for us?
Good morning, Dani and Chris. Thank you very much, and happy Thursday to everybody. We're almost through the end of July here and moving into August. Going to do a quick weather history today. 1979, this one. 40-minute hailstorm that bombed Fort Collins, Colorado with baseball to softball sized hail, with 2,000 homes and 2,500 automobiles being damaged and 25 people were injured. Those aren't the kind of baseballs that we want to see coming out of the sky. So that's one of the weather stats on this day. We aren't going to see that here. We're going to see actually a pretty nice day, couple clouds. You're going to see the live view now, which is sponsored by none other than wirelesscom.ca. Check them out for your telecommunications needs. We are seeing a few clouds there in the distance and things are looking good. I will have those details coming up with your 3-day as well as your Northern Ontario temperatures and your expected highs for the day when we come back. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
What's life without making a few mistakes down the road? A few sharp turns. And doing things for what we adore, but might regret later. A trip to Chuck's Roadhouse isn't one of them. With melt-in-your-mouth AAA steaks, buttery lobster tail, half-priced apps after 9 p.m., an ice-cold draft with all your Roadhouse favorites. Chuck's Roadhouse. Food the way it ought to be, priced the way it used to.
A message from the Government of Canada.
In your home, lighting is just as important as style.
With PowerView Motorization from Hunter Douglas, you can schedule your shades to light up the room. Create privacy, or both, automatically. No hands required.
So your shades will always be in the right place at the right time in style. And it's only from Hunter Douglas.
And welcome back to Special Report for Thursday, July the 30th. Now it's time for our Facebook shoutouts. On Facebook, it's the only way you can interact with us live here on the air. Good morning to Nicole. She's looking forward to 1 o'clock to figure out what's going to be happening with students. And also,
She's one of our international
she's
students.
one of the international students as well. So we'll see what happens there. The announcement at 1 today is just for students here in Ontario with grade school and high school. I won't deal with international students, at least this one won't. But I'm assuming they're going to come out with some sort of guidance for international students at some point, because we're getting very close to their school year as well. They start basically the same time as regular school kids do. So hopefully
they start like a week earlier.
I think, they start just like before the Labor Day weekend. You have the whole Frosh week and stuff like that. Thank you very much, Nicole. And good morning to Michelle. Someone I went to high school with is actually watching this morning. Good morning to you. And of course, now we're going to go over to Daniel for the forecast. What's going on, buddy?
Thanks, Chris and Dani, and I'm going to say it. Thank you to KC Security Services for sponsoring the show. And the reason I'm saying it is because I did a Q&A session, another one of our shows with Carl yesterday on our Facebook page, the KC Security Facebook page. So feel free to check that out. You get to see me doing the security side of things on that end. All right, I'm going to get into the radar shot. So what you're going to see here behind me, we've got, this was kind of over, the low and the high here were kind of over top of us here yesterday, and now it's moved down. We've got this high pressure up here. It's coming. It's going to sit over us for we're going to see a few clouds today, and then they're going to move through. There's a bit of fog out there too. That's going to dissipate, but it's going to move through. You're going to see that high pressure kind of stick around for the weekend. Humidity is going to creep up. We're not going to see 30 degrees, plus the humidity. It's going to still be pretty comfortable, but you will see a little bit of a rise in temperatures. So that's what's going on the radar. As you can see below there, there's quite a bit of activity in the US, but right now we're fine. We're going to just monitor that over the next little while. Okay, your regional temperatures for today, your expected highs, 27 in Thunder Bay, 22 in Wawa. I don't know, Wawa, you're always cool up there. Wawa is just, I don't know if you ever get past or if you ever are high temperature for the day, but you are the cool spot again. 23 in Timmins, as well as here in Sault Ste. Marie, and 25 in Elliott Lake and Sudbury. Our expected lows, 15 in Thunder Bay, 14 in Wawa and Timmins, and 16 in Sault Ste. Marie, Elliott Lake, and Sudbury. So we're looking at seasonal night, nice cool night again. There is going to be a bit of a breeze, so again, it'll be good if you want to cool down your house. So currently we are sitting at 18 degrees outside. Couple clouds and fog lingering. That will dissipate. The winds will pick up later in the afternoon. You'll get a breeze of about 19 kilometers an hour from the northwest, so it'll be a cooler breeze. You're going to see a high of 23 and a humidex of only 26, so a very comfortable day, and we'll be clearing out with a low of 15 overnight. All right, your 3-day forecast for the quote-unquote long weekend, if you have it off. Friday, you're looking at 26 degrees. We're still going to have a couple clouds lingering, as I mentioned there in the radar. Those will clear out. You will see the humidity come back. You'll see a low of 16 overnight. Saturday is looking like a beautiful day right now, 27 degrees high and high UV index, 17 overnight. Sunday, you're kind of sitting at 25 again, maybe a cloud lingering around, but other than that, you're going to see mostly sun, and your lows are going to be around 16 and 17. Saturday is going to be a good day to go to the beach, guys. And I know you've got some news about Pointe du Chene.
Oh, we do. It is going to be a nice day, but Algoma Public Health would like to advise everyone that if you are going to the beach at Pointe du Chene, be careful because there is a high trace of bacteria right now. So what they're saying, they took test samples on Monday and that came back which contained high levels of bacteria. It is unsafe to swim at beaches with increased levels of bacteria. So if you do want to go swimming, they are advising that if you do go, please don't drink the water, obviously. Please make sure to towel off the moment you get out.
Don't let your dog drink the water either.
Exactly. Yeah. And make sure that you're having a shower once you get home. They also are saying...
so is the beach still technically open? Or
the beach is still open. Oh, okay. They're just advising you to be careful when it comes to the water. And it's stated, swimming in water with high levels of bacteria can cause skin, eye, nose, and throat infections, as well as a stomach illness if the water is swallowed. They do that all the time though. Like APH goes around, they test all the water. Let's say Harmony Beach, we knew that there was a tick problem before, and they're just going to keep doing that, letting the public know. So again, if you are considering going to the beaches, make sure you know your options, and if you do end up going to Pointe du Chene, just make sure you're taking care of yourself and staying safe. But we will be back after this commercial break.
That 1 in 3 people are affected by fire in their lifetime? Or that 1 in 3 fire deaths happen in homes with no working smoke alarms? You may have just seconds to safely escape a fire in your home. That's why early detection of fire is absolutely vital. Only working smoke alarms provide those precious seconds you and your family need to safely escape. Install smoke alarms on every story and outside all sleeping areas of your home. For added protection, install a smoke alarm in every bedroom. Test smoke alarms monthly by pressing the test button. If the alarm doesn't sound, install a new battery. Replace alarm batteries at least once a year and whenever the low battery warning chirps. And if the alarm still doesn't sound, replace the alarm with a new one. Smoke alarms have an expiry date. Remember to check the back of the smoke alarm for dates of manufacture. Replacement is within the time frame on the manufacturer's instructions. In most cases, 7 to 10 years. Always replace expired alarms. Remember, it's the law in Ontario to have working smoke alarms on every story of your home and outside all sleeping areas. Failure to comply with the Ontario Fire Code requirements could result in a fine or even jail time. So protect yourself and your loved ones by ensuring that all your smoke alarms are functional and up to code. For more fire safety information, please visit www.saultestmarie.ca/firesafe.
And welcome back to Special Report for Thursday, July the 30th. Well, I'd like to thank KC Securities for being our title sponsor. And yesterday, Ford not only had a big announcement about the COVID-19 Long-Term Care Commission, what else do you have going on there?
He had going on, Ontario is taking steps to improve the child welfare system. So they've implemented a new 5-pillar strategy, which includes strengthening family well-being through community-based prevention services to keep children safe in family-based settings, improve the quality of residential care provided to children and youth, promoting the development of stable and lifelong connections and supporting for youth with a focus on educating and employment opportunities, improving the adoption experience and focusing on family-based options for over the group care, and then creating a more efficient and effective child welfare system in financial situations. So you know what, they're taking this initiative now. It comes at such a great time. They're implementing these new school rules. I feel like they're going to be implementing this too into their services when school gets back up, but great way to make great leeway you got going on right now.
Yeah,
and how about you? What are our numbers looking at?
Yeah, well, in Ontario yesterday, our numbers came in, and this is actually incredible. We had 76 new cases. Now,
down from yesterday, or was
down
yesterday?
From we had 111. This is the cases from not yesterday, but the day before. These are the numbers came in yesterday. So,
perfect.
76 new cases, which is down from 111 the day before. And if you remember, just the past weekend, we were up over 200. So that is fantastic. This is the first time actually we've been below 100 new cases since March 24th.
That's exciting news. Very exciting news.
That was with 27,000 tests. The last time we were below 100, we only did 2,500 tests to be below 100. This time it was 27,000 and we were below 100.
Well, Ford said he wants to jack up all of the testing. He wants to make more room for testing. You know what? He's really doing. I'm really liking him.
Yeah, we've had a couple days where it's over 30,000 tests per day. Yeah. Our capacity is actually around 33,000.
Why isn't Trump not taking a look at what we're doing to enforce it over there?
Well, they are doing a lot of tests in the States. I mean, they've done what, 4? I can't remember the number, but how many cases do they have in total now?
I kind of stopped looking because it scared me.
I know they're over 3.5 million for sure. That happened just the other day. They're probably approaching 4 million if they're not there already. However, most cases were in Windsor, Essex, because there's a couple of outbreaks at migrant farms
and
down
they're still in stage 2 right now.
And they're the only area still in stage 2, effective midnight tonight, because both Toronto and Peel are moving to stage 3.
Come Friday, come tomorrow,
yes,
12:01 a.m.
It'll only be Windsor, Essex. They'll still be in stage 2. However, the City of Toronto has put in some more regulations over and above, so it's not. Their stage 3 in Toronto is not exactly like stage 3 in Algoma. There's still specific things for restaurants and stores and stuff that are not in other places where there's stage 3, but that's a Toronto thing. And we have less than 100 people in the hospital, at 91 in the hospital.
And our ventilator numbers are down too.
Yes, we are down to 17 on a ventilator and only 28 in the ICU in total across the province. But we got to go to a commercial break. We'll be right back, and Daniel will have your 7-day forecast. See you in 1 minute.
of Ontario established a $100 million affordability fund to help Ontarians who don't qualify for low-income conservation programs ease the burden of their electricity bill. Whether you rent or own your home, as long as you pay your electric bill, you could qualify. There are 3 levels of support available. The first is a home energy kit with upgrades like smart power bars and LED light bulbs. The second includes Energy Star appliances that help keep things cool during the hot summer months. The third is for electrically heated homes so that your power bills don't break the bank during those long Canadian winters. Plus, all upgrades, including installation, are completely free of charge. Visit affordabilityfund.org or call 1-855-494-FUND to find out if you qualify.
And welcome back to Special Report for Thursday, July the 30th. Thank you to Casey's Securities for being our title sponsor. I almost didn't get that out of my mouth there. And we're going to go over to Daniel for the 7-day forecast. What's going to happen over the next 7 days?
Thanks very much, Chris and Dani, and good morning again to everyone. We're going to do the Weather Watcher here. This photo is actually one from our producer Mike. It was taken on the International Bridge last May, so May 2019, and as you can see, it looks like he's on top of all these clouds because there's low-lying fog there and some clouds that were, the sun was rising and it was going to burn it off. So, and you can see on the right-hand side of the screen the Tower of History over at Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan there. So that's a nice shot. Thank you, Mike. We want you guys to send in your photos and videos for any weather event or a nice photo that you may have, such as this, to ontvweather@gmail.com and include your name and location, and I will get it up for you on our Weather Watcher segment. Okay, we're going to do a quick recap of the 7-day quick stats. 32.0 was our record high in 1999 today. We won't see that. Record low was 3.9 in 1945. And your sunrise was at 6:16 a.m. and your sunset will be at 9:12 p.m. tonight. Okay, so Friday, Saturday, we're seeing that heat come back. You are going to see sun. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, as you can see, and then Thursday, other than a few clouds, it's going to be sunny. Those highs are going to go back down to seasonal, 21 to 22 degrees by next week, and your overnight lows are between 14 and 17. So we are going to have a nice week coming up. I'm going to send it back over to Dani. She's got a story here to introduce.
Thank you so much, Dan. So last week I had the privilege of speaking with Derek Pierce. He is going to be opening up. It's called the Brick Space, and it's a little bit of building blocks, not necessarily a Lego store, but he's going to be having custom sets available. And recently he partnered with the museum and he built a custom Lego set. It's been designed and it's of the museum, and you'll be able to see it in this video. Enjoy.
Many people create custom sets and sell them online. So we were looking at local landmarks, and we decided, why don't we make a line of custom sets based off Sault Ste. Marie landmarks and sell them in our store, and some of them will actually be sold at the locations that we have modeled. So we've partnered up with a few locations so far, one of them being the Sault Ste. Marie Museum. So we designed with a partnership with Playwell Bricks, another Lego design firm online. We've designed a custom Sault Ste. Marie museum set. So that will be going on sale at the museum, and I'm sure the museum will have a press release out soon. The next one that we created was the lighted cross at St. Basil's, and that set will be the first set sold in our store. And we are looking at doing several others like the Water Tower, Clerg Block House, the Old Stone House, Mill Market, and a few others that we're still looking into.
That was a great video. I think it's super cool, and I don't know about you, but I grew up with Legos, so when I saw the museum and the cross, I just thought it was beautiful. Very, very, very beautiful design.
Yeah, when I lived in Miami, there's a Lego store in one of the malls, and you can actually go in and build all the Lego sets.
Yeah, that's what he wants to do. He wants to host birthday parties. They want to make it interactive. They're going to be coming up with a few more designs, so it's really exciting news going on.
And the Raptors are back playing tonight against the Lakers, so some basketball for you. But we'll be here all day with news. We'll be back at 1 o'clock with Doug Ford's announcement with regards to the education system and what's going to be happening this fall, as well as my shows at 7 p.m. tonight and the evening news at 5. And we will see you back here at 1 o'clock. Have a fantastic morning.
See you at 1.